Hi everyone, I'm Gadis of Made by Mutiara, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do lettering with coffee and share with you some tips and tricks of how I made this piece. Firstly, I use 1 sachet of instant coffee, which is about half a teaspoon, and mix it with 1 tablespoon of hot water. And then you want to make sure that you mix it thoroughly so that all of the solid crystals dissolve. Next, you just want to take your paintbrush, dip it inside the coffee, and you can start lettering. So while the letters are still wet, you can go back over it with some additional coffee, and you can create some of these darker parts and have a contrast with the lighter parts as well. So what I do is to sketch my piece out in pencil first so that I can easily trace it over with the paintbrush. To create the ombre gradient, what you want to do is to tilt the paper towards the top and let it dry for a few minutes. Or you can use a heat gun to make the drying process faster, and then you get a cool effect like this. Now for the rest of the lettering, what I like to do is to vary the amount of water and coffee that I use. This is so that I can create some darker parts, some lighter parts of the lettering, which kind of makes it look like I'm using different colored paints, but I'm actually just using coffee. So you can see I'm going back to the wet parts to add coffee, and yeah, it creates a nice gradient. If you're adding a drawing or illustration, what you want to do is to start with the darker parts first. So I'm painting the middle of a feather and drying it with a heat gun. And when I paint the rest of the feather, which is much lighter, you can see that it creates a very nice contrast, and the middle of the feather doesn't dissolve or bleed into the lighter parts. But of course, I think if you use too much water, that might still happen, so just be careful when you're painting. And if you happen to make smudges or you're just clumsy like me, it's fine, because as you can see, when you add water with your paintbrush to the affected areas, it does come off quite easily, and all you need to do is to use a paper towel to wipe it off. So don't worry, smudges are part and parcel of making mistakes, but the good part is that this mistake is one that you can easily correct. Next, you want to erase the pencil lines from the sketch that you did earlier, but please make sure you wait for the coffee to completely dry before doing any erasing. The tool that I like to use the most is the kneaded eraser, mainly because it doesn't have any eraser dust. But of course, if you want to use something that is more precise, that can get into the small, hard to reach places, you can use an eraser with a small tip like this one, and it's the Tombow Mono Zero eraser. And last but not least, what I like to do is to fill up the empty areas around the lettering with some coffee splatters. But first, I cover up the main lettering coat with a piece of paper because I don't want to cause a mess or over splatter with the coffee. Afterwards, I take it off and then I add a few splatters here and there just to make sure it doesn't look too empty in any of the areas. And there you have it. This is the completed piece. I hope that you have the confidence to letter with coffee as well. Because you see, when the piece is dry, it creates a very nice glossy and shiny look. And yeah, this was really fun for me to make, and I hope that you have fun lettering with coffee too. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning how to do lettering with coffee. If you like this tutorial, please like, follow, and subscribe to me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Let me know what tutorial you'd like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!